What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And this time last year, I did a weekly gaming news series in which I wrapped up all the little tidbits about news that weren't worth making a big video for. I figured since this year's 2015 gaming slew for the holidays is about to begin, this is the perfect time to bring this series back. So the first expansion slash DLC for The Witcher 3 is due to release on October the 13th, and it promises 10 more hours of gameplay for about $10. Now, besides the fact that that's a pretty good value for your money, the reason this is exceptional to me is because they've already released 13 pieces of free DLC that anybody can download as long as they own the game. This is the first of several pieces of sold DLC. It is included in the Season Pass if you got that with the Collector's Edition or you purchased that online. And this even has the option of getting a limited edition copy that has a physical version that includes the download code and plenty of Gwent cards so that you can play Gwent in real life, and man, that's awesome. Now, Witcher 3 has definitely got to compete with Fallout 4 for RPG of the Year or Game of the Year, and a lot of people didn't care much for the combat, but ultimately this is one of the best games to be produced this year. It cost them $81 million to make, but they sold over 6 million copies, a million of which were on PC, by the way. And let's be honest here, when you convince a million PC gamers to pay for a single-player offline game rather than pirate it, you gotta be doing something right. So the first big expansion for Destiny, The Taken King, launches later this month. A lot of players were really frustrated with the $40 price tag for the expansion, which is a very reasonable complaint, but now we're finally beginning to see what that $40 has purchased. And basically, the game has been heavily revamped, including some big changes to the leveling slash light system. Light and level are completely different systems now, so no more wonky leveling up by trying to get gear. It's all completely different, as well as a lot of other minor changes to the game. And I guess it's safe to say that with the 2.0 patch today that brings all of those changes to the entire game, Destiny's finally out of beta! And thank you for those of you who have been playing the last year and beta testing it for the rest of us. We really appreciate that. If you don't want to buy The Taken King and you do want to see the changes, just go download it on your console right now. Fair warning, it's about 18 gig though. When I say they completely changed the game, I mean they completely changed the game. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain has released, and even without Kojima's name on it, it has sold like hotcakes. The game sold over 3 million copies in its first week, making it the best-selling Metal Gear Solid game ever. Critics and gamers seem to both agree that this game is incredible, and while I haven't played it myself because I generally don't like stealth elements and I cannot seem to follow the plot of Metal Gear Solid 5, with Kojima gone from Konami, this is probably the last time we'll see a Metal Gear Solid game like this. Especially with this kind of art direction, if you know what I mean. What was really interesting to me about the sales figures they released was not the number of copies of games that they sold, but which systems they sold it for. Of the 3 million sales, 72% of them went to PlayStation, and this could mean that the Xbox is getting its butt kicked, or that PlayStation players are more focused on this type of gameplay. Whatever that means though, that is an impressive number. Now, I'll be the first to admit that the Xbox One has dramatically improved over the last few years. I use mine almost as much as I use my PlayStation or my PC these days, so that's a pretty good testament for what they've done for it. However, this kind of sales figure shows you the uphill battle they are facing this Christmas season, and that probably means they're going to pull out all the stops to make sure that Xbox fans are happy in the hopes of keeping sales numbers up, and that's just good for everybody. One last bit of news before we go. As of today, PlayStation celebrates its 20th year of selling consoles here in North America. Now, I didn't own my first PlayStation until 1997 when Final Fantasy VII came out. I took that little white PlayStation home and I set it down next to my N64, and I've owned a PlayStation console as part of my console systems ever since. since. And I've never been an exclusive PlayStation fan. They have definitely made a few mistakes in those 20 years in my eyes. I've never found my Vita as useful as my Nintendo 3DS, for example, and when the PlayStation 3 launched with its absurd price tag, I went with the 360 for the first 4 years of that generation. But I think even the most jaded console kiddie or the most cynical PC fan can stop and recognize that 20 years in what is a very volatile market is a hell of an accomplishment. So happy birthday, PlayStation. But that's all the news I care to talk about this week. Did I miss something that you're interested in? Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know if you're excited to see this series come back, or if you think I probably should just shut up and make more Francis Rages. Either way, let me know. I love you guys very much. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak with you again soon.